Welcome back to the Sleepy Mind, where we take giant questions, wrap them in a fuzzy blanket, and hand them to your overthinking brain just before bedtime. Tonight's question isn't just weird, it's personal. Are you original? Or are you just a walking collage of everything you've ever seen, heard, liked, shared, ordered, reposted, mumbled under your breath, or watched someone else do while pretending not to? Put differently, are we all just copying each other? And if we are, should that feel unsettling? Or should it feel like the coziest thing imaginable, a great big cosmic game of follow the leader? Let's find out, but slowly, and maybe with a few yawns along the way. Why we start by copying babies and little humans. Let's begin, as we often do, with babies, tiny, squishy philosophers covered in drool. Babies are born with no language, no etiquette, and no idea why electrical outlets are bad snack holes. But they're equipped with something wild, the instinct to copy. Within hours of being born, newborns start mimicking facial expressions, especially things like sticking out your tongue. Now think about that. You've just been launched into existence from a soft, wet darkness, and within minutes your brain is like, ah yes, I too shall stick out my tongue. This seems socially vital. It turns out that copying is one of the very first ways we learn, and I don't just mean school learn, I mean everything. How to eat, how to walk, how to wave, how to say uh-huh in a way that sounds like you're listening when you're actually thinking about soup. Mirror neurons, your brain's built-in copy machine. But what makes this mimicry possible? One answer lies in a deliciously weird little system in your brain. Mirror neurons. These were first discovered in monkeys. Scientists noticed that when a monkey watched another monkey eat a banana, the same neurons lit up in its brain as if it were eating the banana itself. This is the brain going, oh, I see what you're doing, and I'm virtually doing it too. It's like mental karaoke. Humans? We have this too, big time. When you see someone smile, your mirror neurons activate your smiling muscles. When you hear someone yawn, well, you're probably yawning right now. And if you weren't, now you are. Your brain is a deeply empathetic sponge. It learns by pretending. It doesn't wait to figure things out. It just starts doing what everyone else is doing and hopes it works out, which, come to think of it, explains a lot about middle school. Why you picked up that catch school. Have you ever noticed that when you hang around someone long enough, you start becoming them? You adopt their catchphrases, their laugh, the way they text. You might even start using their favorite snack emoji unironically. It's not because you're unoriginal. It's because your brain wants connection. Copying isn't just learning, it's belonging. It says, look, I do what you do. I'm safe, I'm part of the group. Even animals do this. Chimps who hang out together use the same tools. Birds copy each other's songs. Even octopuses, who are basically underwater aliens, can mimic colors and shapes just by watching. You? You copied how to laugh, walk, argue, and hold a coffee cup. You're a remix of everyone you've ever known. And now that we've established that you're a big, beautiful copy machine with anxiety and Spotify, let's ask something deeper. Are you choosing what you copy, or are the copies choosing you? Let's float into that next. So, you're a beautiful sponge. Not the kitchen kind, the cognitive kind. You pick up speech patterns, favorite colors, and the weird laugh snort your friend does when they see a cat in a hat. But copying isn't just about childhood or social bonding. It's also how culture works. Your personality? That's not just you. It's a cultural smoothie, ingredients provided by your language, your family, your TikTok algorithm, and one teacher in 3rd grade who told you your handwriting was very decisive. Let's explore that. How culture teaches us to be ourselves. Here's a sleepy paradox. You are taught how be you. From your accent to your taste in socks, everything you consider normal was handed to you by a collective called society, which sounds intimidating, but is really just a whole bunch of other people copying each other. Take fashion. One year, low-rise jeans are a fashion crime. Next year, they're on runways, and your cousin is wearing them like nothing ever happened. You follow trends, even when you think you're rebelling against them. Because rebellion, that's a trend too. You're just copying different people. So whether you're fitting in or standing out, your reference points come from others. You're a collage of borrowed rituals. The ultimate group project. Let's take language. You didn't invent English, you inherited it. You didn't design verbs, you just picked them up like pebbles on a trail And yet, it's your voice, your words, your metaphors about raccoons and emotional baggage. Even slang is communal. You didn't come up with vibe check or no cap. You absorbed it from the collective pool of culture like a dolphin learning new squeaks from its pod. This is how we build shared meaning. We copy sounds, then we give them context. Social contagion, the yawn of ideas. Let's go deeper. Have you ever felt sad because someone near you was sad? Or felt pressure to laugh at a joke that wasn't funny because everyone else did? That's not weakness. That's social contagion, the gentle psychological domino effect that makes us sync up. Ideas spread like yawns. Emotions spread like music. You are wired to catch feelings, and not just romantically. If your coworker is stressed, you're likely to pick it up. If your friends start running marathons, you might suddenly own a pair of $300 shoes you wear only to the mailbox. We are each other's environments. We absorb each other like houseplants sharing a patch of sun. Conformity. But wait, you whisper in your own head, I don't conform. I'm unique. That's lovely and slightly false, but don't worry, we all think that. So far, we've explored how your brain mimics, how society shapes, how language, fashion, emotion, and memes are all contagious. And you might be wondering, if I'm always absorbing others, what part of me is really me? Or is me just a meme with a favorite cereal? Don't worry, we'll get to that. Next, how imitation lives in animals, machines, and maybe in the universe itself. But for now, let your thoughts drift like a leaf on a pond, because even leaves follow the current. So far, we've gently accused you of being a beautifully crafted sponge, copying everything from sentence structure to sock trends. But don't worry, you're not alone. Imitation is everywhere. It's not just a human thing, it's an everything thing. Let's zoom out and meet some of the world's sneakiest, smartest, and sleepiest copycats, the ones who never even had a Wi-Fi connection. Copying in animals, the fluffy apprentices. Let's start with the usual suspects. Animals. Did you know that dolphins can mimic not just each other's whistles, but the sound of machinery underwater? That's right, they'll copy a boat motor for fun. Or possibly for revenge, we don't know yet. Parrots don't just mimic human speech. They pick up your tone, your rhythms, even your sarcasm, which means somewhere out there is a bird that sounds like your passive-aggressive uncle. And crows, oh the crows, they can recognize human faces, pass on warning calls across generations, and copy tool use they see once. They're basically tiny goth engineers. But perhaps the most relatable of all, capuchin monkeys, who will copy each other's grooming habits, facial gestures, and, in one study, how to open Tupperware, which honestly, some humans still struggle with. So copying? It's not just for language or memes, it's how animals survive. Mimicry in nature. Now let's talk about mimicry, nature's version of cosplay. Butterflies pretend to be poisonous even when they're not. Snakes mimic rattling sounds to scare predators. Octopuses impersonate sea snakes, lionfish, even rocks, all without asking for acting lessons. They're not just blending in, they're lying through copying. Survival via imitation, which makes you wonder, when you wear glasses to look smart or raise one eyebrow like The Rock, are you just another animal trying to not get eaten? AI and the rise of machine mimicry. But imitation isn't just biological anymore. We've started building machines that copy us. Artificial intelligence learns by mimicking patterns in human languages and behavior. Every chatbot, every recommendation engine, every autocorrect fail, they're all just trying to copy us well enough to be helpful or at least mildly entertaining. Even art. AI now generates music, poetry, and digital paintings. Original? Maybe. But it all starts by learning from others, from us. So maybe imitation isn't just something humans do. Maybe it's how we create creators. Are we programmed to copy the universe too? Now we'll gently wander into stranger waters. Have you ever thought about how patterns in nature repeat? Galaxies spin like hurricanes. Blood vessels branch like trees. Snowflakes copy snowflakes. And your thoughts? They spiral like storm clouds and Fibonacci shells. This self-repeating structure, it's everywhere. Some physicists think the universe itself may operate like a fractal, patterns repeating at different scales. And some philosophers ask, what if existence isn't random, but recursive? What if the universe is copying itself over and over through stars, through people, through you? What if you're not just part of the universe, but a copy of its pattern, like a soft echo in a canyon or a dream dreaming itself? So is anything truly original? Let's breathe now. You're a monkey who copied how to speak, a mammal who mimics other mammals, a brain that borrowed ideas, words, gestures, and music, and now even your machines are learning to copy you. So the question arises, is there anything left that's you, or is it copies all the way down? Well, maybe you're not the first person to wear plaid, or to say I'm fine when you're clearly not. But originality might not mean never before. Maybe it just means I combined things my way. Because yes, you learned your laugh, but nobody else has that exact laugh, at that exact pitch, at that exact moment, when someone said moist pretzel and you lost it. You copied the ingredients, but you're still baking your own version of the cake. So if you're drifting off right now, maybe into a dream built from movies, books, smells, sounds, and memes, you're doing what humans have always done: copying, remixing, making meaning out of borrowed parts, finding yourself in the reflections of everything else, and somehow still being completely, beautifully you. Even if someone else said that first, what does it mean to be authentic? You've heard it before. Be yourself. Find your voice. Just do you. But what is you, when most of what you are came from other people? From your sense of humor, to your handwriting, to your favorite sad song on a rainy Tuesday. How much of that was chosen? And how much was simply absorbed? Here's a sleepy suggestion. Maybe authenticity isn't originality. Maybe it's honesty. Maybe it's not never copying anyone. Maybe it's choosing what you copy with care. You're not a blank slate. You're a beautiful mashup, a carefully curated playlist with a few unexpected remixes. That's not fake. That's how humans work. The copiedens work. Think of your favorite habit, the weird one, like how you tilt your head when you think, or the way you say, oh boy, before opening a bad email. Nobody told you to do that. You saw it somewhere, felt it fit, and now it's yours. That's what we do. We try things on, some don't fit, some make us laugh, some become part of our personal mythology. Even your deepest beliefs, they probably came from a teacher, a book, a friend, a heartbreak. But that doesn't make them false, it just makes them shared. We are made of shared things. That's what makes us people, not algorithms, not machines, but collective creatures, echoing each other with style. What happens when we stop copying? Sometimes we think we're supposed to be completely original, that if we copy anyone, we've failed. But imagine a world where everyone refused to copy. No shared language, no recipes, no jokes, no handshakes, dance moves, lullabies, or bedtime stories. It would be silent, lonely, a world of unshared minds. Copying isn't the opposite of creativity. It's the soil creativity grows in. When you remix, you connect. When you echo, you belong. When you share the pattern, you add to the rhythm. So don't be afraid of imitation. Be curious about it. Ask yourself, what am I copying? Why does it feel right? And what can I do to make it mine? The meme inside your mind. If ideas are memes, as Dawkins once said, then your mind is full of them. Catchphrases, mannerisms, philosophies, all swirling around like tiny hitchhikers. But you're not just a host, you're a curator. You're a stage manager for a daily performance of borrowed thoughts, rehearsed, rewritten, delivered with just enough flair to make them yours. And sometimes, even without meaning to, even the origin of a meme. You say something funny once and it gets repeated. You do something kind and it inspires someone else. The meme becomes you, and then it becomes someone else too. So yes, you're copying, but you're also passing it on, like a campfire lit from another flame. Not less bright, just connected. So, are we all just copying each other? Yes. Gloriously, lovingly, endlessly. You are the remix of your parents' smiles, your favorite movie quotes, that stranger's laugh in a cafe 6 years ago, and the way your friend says literally like it's both a joke and a warning. You are a patchwork of everyone who's ever passed through your orbit, woven with quirks, stitched with memory, lined with a few inside jokes no one else understands. You are not an original statue. You're a living remix, and the best part? No one will ever remix things quite like you. So rest now, remix. Let the copies inside you quiet down. Let the borrowed voices dissolve. You don't have to be perfectly original. You just have to be present. Thank you for drifting with the Sleepy Mind. We'll be back soon with another impossibly big question wrapped in softness, seasoned with humor, and gently handed to you, just in time for bed. Until then, sleep softly, dream gently, copy kindly, and remember, you're doing better than you think. Good night.